say.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Universal You. Today, we are going to just be having an exciting conversation. I'm going to be bringing up a little bit of the introductory portions for my new book. The working title is currently Project Alpha. And I think you're all really going to enjoy it. I really do. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. It's something that I've certainly enjoyed working on, and I'm excited to share a bit of it with you today. A little bit of a sneak peek, but we'll get into that later. Right now, we got some music playing in the background. Hopefully, the syncopation of my voice allows me to use fair use regarding the copyright, but this is Rosier by Paula Collins. Just a bit of quiet background music. I'm not really sure if you guys can even hear it. Alright, so what I'm doing right now, I've just woken up. It is 9 o'clock. Well, it's 8:58 in the morning here in South Africa, and the date is the 19th of May 2022. And I'm making this audio log recording, which is to be downloaded into a Lemurian clear quartz crystal to be perceived by those higher dimensional beings that watch our planet daily. We're going to be talking about metaphysics. We're going to be talking about ascension. There's a lot of exciting things going on here today. And also, let's get into a little bit about Project Alpha. Let's discuss some of that. I think a brief summary of its fruition, the way it came about, I think is important. I met Jarrell Seeker on YouTube. We did a podcast together, Dupe's Closet. Check that out on Instagram, Dupe's Closet, everybody, check it out. We did an incredible episode. I shared with him the cosmology of the entire universe. It was brilliant. And, After that, he said, hey, bro, you're a mental health professional. You're a metaphysician. You're a metaphysical scientist, a metaphysical practitioner. And, mental health is a field you work in, we work in quite often. Let's write a book about the therapeutic effects of THC, LSD, and psilocybin. He focused more on the LSD and psilocybin. I was leaning more towards the healing effects of tetrahydrocannabinoid. And you know what? I think we came to a really incredible agreement. We wrote up a contract, and I've been writing this book for him ever since. And it's going well, and I feel like this is an incredible platform for me to talk a little bit about that, because, marketing a book can be a little bit tricky sometimes, and I was wondering in what manner could this information best be shared, and what better platform than a podcast? And we're going to be doing a lot of other things besides that, though. That's just going to be a main theme. Talking about books and stuff like that, reading, words, writing, and stuff like that. So this just in: Solomon. Sol is Latin for sun, Om is Hindi for sun, and On is Egyptian for sun. So Solomon is directly translated as sun, sun, sun in Latin, Hindi, and Egyptian. Just a little bit of a quick update for you, We're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that, updates and things like that. I hope you're okay with my voice, everybody. Alright, I'm currently on Pinterest scrolling through. That's where that whole Solomon thing came from. And I've got this incredible board on Pinterest. Go check it out. Tyron Bowers. That's me. Lowercase, just one word, Tyron Bows. And I've got a really cool board called Unique Words. Check it out, there's some really cool stuff. I'm going to be sharing some interesting pins with you on Instagram and reading some stuff with you over the course of this podcast. That was Etre un Artsy by Chocolat. And yeah, we'll be moving on to the next song in just a bit. This is Le Lounges. Le Lounges? The Lounge. The Lounges. Le Lungas. Yeah, we're listening to a lot of French music today, everybody, and it's pretty good. Let's up the tunes just a little bit there. If at any moment, you guys, I go quiet, I've decided to overlay the music we're playing over this. So yeah. And if there's any jumps in the audio, it's because I've stopped to have like a smoke or go drink some coffee or whatever. Anyway, we can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. That's a quote by Plato, everybody. Philosophy, you guys. Everybody loves philosophy. You know, metaphysics is often considered a branch of philosophy. However, I'm of the mind that it is a field in its own. It's an academic study that stands on its own 2 feet in much the same way as mathematics, philosophy, and such subjects like that, you know. And I just spilled coffee down my cheek. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I like Plato. Plato's a cool dude. I like the Platonic solids, guys. Sacred geometry. That's the more mathematical side of metaphysics I've come to realize. And yeah, we are just over 7 minutes in. It is 9:04, and yeah, it's still the 19th of May, you guys. I don't know when I'm going to post this. We're not live, which is weird, you guys. I want to do this live, I do, but some people just want to feel the music, you know. But yeah. Alright. Just checking up on the sound there, you guys, if you went a bit quiet. And we're back. Sorry about that, you guys. A bit of technical difficulties in my end there, but we're back in town. So yeah, guys, just chilling here. Currently, I've had breakfast. Smoked a little bit of weed. We had a bit of Pineapple Express, actual Pineapple Express, from a wonderful dispensary here in sunny South Africa called Little Cali. Shout out to their membership club, guys. Join their membership club. It's a great time. You get to go smoke. You can get a free tattoo. All that. Check out my hand tats on Instagram if you want. Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about metaphysics and the mathematical implications of metaphysics, you know, in much the same way as quantum physics. Metaphysics is very much the unified field. It brings mathematics, philosophy, science, magic, and it puts it all together in one place and gives you understanding. It also brings a lot from theology as well. You know, metaphysics utilizes a lot of what mystics refer to as an absolute perspective, which puts it in a very non-secular position, far above dogma and theology, and chalks all of that up to mere semantics, which I quite enjoy because it means that I can have a conversation with people who walk different paths and relate to that unique individual person in their unique way. I often use the distinction between post-hypnotic suggestion and light meditation to illustrate this point. It's like if I were talking to someone who does yoga, who likes Sanskrit, and I said, hey, we're gonna put you in a light state of meditation, and I want you to affirm that I am whole and that I'm perfect, and that I love myself while you're in that light state of meditation. But, if I were talking to someone, say, in a counseling position, who's more familiar with Carl Jung, maybe Sigmund Freud, psychology and that sort of thing, if I were talking to someone like that, I would say, well, listen. I'm going to put you in a hypnotic state, and I'm going to give you a few post-hypnotic suggestions, and those are that I am loved, and I'm whole, and I love myself. And you see, it becomes just mere semantics. The person who studied psychology will understand post-hypnotic suggestion, and the person who is more into yoga will understand a light state of meditation. And that the same can be said for, religious practices, especially if you understand Atlantis, the Nepal, the Essene Brotherhood. And the fact that all of religion comes from pretty much the same source. Once you have that perspective, it's very easy to communicate with people on their level sincerely, which is very, very important in metaphysics. Alright guys, I'm gonna take a little sip of coffee now and have a Coke. We're having a lot of fun here, guys. We're having a lot of fun. Alright. Our song today is Premier Jung by Lydia Kapensky. Great stuff here. This is French noir music, guys. I don't know if you can even hear it. I'm currently watching this being recorded and realizing how much work I'm going to have to do in post-production. But that's okay, Selenophilia. Loving the moon and finding it soothingly captivating. Selenophilia. Do you know, I had a lot of selenophilia on the 16th of May when we had that total lunar eclipse. Am I right? What a good time, everybody. Ethos is using a character credibly and ethics to persuade. Pathos is using emotions and passion to persuade. And logos is using logical reasoning and evidence to persuade. So, ethos, how can I make the audience trust me? Pathos, how can I make the audience feel something? Logos, do I make sense? Can my audience follow the logic? So yeah, we got a lot of ethos and pathos in the new Marvel movies, but we don't get a lot of logos. Am I right, everybody? Alright, just gonna check if we're still recording. Alright guys, we're live. I must say, I'm really happy all my equipment's working. Got a new mic, currently recording this on some brand new software, and yeah, we're doing good. So, metanoia, guys. To turn from the darkness and face the light. Metanoia. That's a cool word. We're going to be doing a lot of that. Alright guys, so the sound might be a little bit muffled now. I'm going to talk a bit loudly. I'm about to spark up real quick. To Cottywomple, traveling in a purposeful manner towards a vague destination. Cottywomble. How cool is that? Where are we gonna go? Well, I'm just gonna cottywomble right over there. Burble. To speak in an excited manner. How I sound after a few cups of coffee. I must say, blowing smoke into a microphone is pretty fucking fun. Within you there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time. Be yourself. Join us later when I'll be reading a few excerpts from the introduction of my new book. Working title is currently Project Alpha, but that name might change in the future. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions, and I will definitely credit anybody who comes up with a good name for my book. Also, I know we got Jarrell on board. If you're listening, Jarrell, shout out to you. And he's our artist. He's probably going to draw the cover art for the book. But there are a lot of illustration opportunities for pictures and graphic designers out there. I need meditation images, chakras, yoga, flowers, incense. Be creative with it, you guys. Share your art with me, and if I like it, I will put it in the book. I will credit you, and let's do the art. Alright, Zemblanity. The inevitable discovery of what we would rather not know. The opposite of serendipity. Ooh. I have a lot of Zemblanity when I'm watching Game of Thrones. Oh gosh. Alright, you guys. We have Luby by Larynx. Wow, the dude named himself Larynx. That's like me naming myself vocal cord. I'm looking for a cool new word to share with you guys. Let's see what I can share. Ooh, a philomath. Philomath. A lover of learning. Someone who loves learning is a philomath. I think we're all philomaths in our own way. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, I love this one. Scythurism. Ooh, listen to that, you guys. Scythurism. Ooh. I went outside for a walk and I just enjoyed the scythurism. The sound of rustling leaves. Greek origins. Scythurism. Oh, I like that a lot. Let me take another toke. Geez, I hope that you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. Thank you to everybody who commented on my videos on Instagram. The art decode has been going really well. Season 1 is kicking off quite nicely. At the time of recording, episode 3 is out. I'm dropping episode 4 this Sunday, which is great. I'm super excited about that. Filming the promo videos for that's been really good. I'm enjoying the feedback. I've been doing a lot of green screen composition stuff to make that look pretty, and it's been really inspiring. The video are about art. It's called the Art Decode, and being able to share the stuff with you guys through my art is something I quite enjoy. Moonbrock, a hole around the moon which precedes an approaching storm. Sorry about that, guys. By the way, guys, Meswak toothpaste. Great for your pineal gland. No fool around. Get yourself some Meswak toothpaste. This episode of Universal U brought to you by Meswak. Delicious, non-fluoride toothpaste. Lovely, lovely stuff. And we are at Lawrence and Nix. That's a cool name for a song. Let's see how far we are into our first episode of this format of recording. Wow, look at that, you guys. We're nearly half an hour in to our first episode. How great is that? I'm gonna do an hour, you guys. Let's do an hour. What do you say? I think so. Alright. Let's look. I've spent the first half hour of the podcast talking, so I think I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of the introduction of Project Alpha here. Just the claim and some of the points that we want to bring up to substantiate the claim we're making in this book. Let me spark up first. So just to let everybody know, this work is substantiated by a lot of great research, as you'll hear. Many case studies, doctors, businesses, a lot of great people have come together to validate this research, and we've also done our own research. Jarrell was so kind to present his personal journals, literally over 6 years of just beautiful illustrations conveying his spiritual journey, and I'm very excited to share this information with you now. Let's get to it. Project Alpha. Introduction. Here we go. I'm just gonna take a sip of coffee real quick. Oh, that's good. Brazilian roast. Let's begin. Alright. The methodology and findings presented here are the result of transformative mystical experience. In addition to the accumulation of substantial research to validate the claim that altered states of consciousness induced by psychoactive substances can sublimate trauma, which is conducive to mental health and thus the experience of life. So that's our claim, everybody. I'm going to repeat that. That's literally just the foundation. That's what we're trying to prove here with all of our research and stuff. So let me read that one more time and then I'll move on. So, in addition to the accumulation of substantial research to validate the claim that altered states of consciousness induced by psychoactive substances can sublimate trauma, which is conducive to mental health and thus the experience of prosperity in life. Alright, so let's get into that. The metaphysical implications of such a claim are considered in relation to psychological breakthroughs and scientific insight when considering ingestion of substances like THC, LSD, and psilocybin. A distinction needs to be made between self-harm and self-care. as the objective of self-care lends itself strongly to a healthy mental attitude. It is the object of emphasis in this study, inasmuch as meditation and hypnosis aim to glean awareness and understanding, so too the altered states of consciousness induced by these substances. That's a very important point to make, you guys. Self-care is so important. And yes, we're making this point in terms of the ingestion of hallucinogens, basically. When it comes to LSD and psilocybin. But this is a philosophy, a idiom, a mantra, a maxim, something you can apply in your daily life. Self-care is so important. You gotta take those steps to love yourself first before you can love anybody. As a long-time professional metaphysical practitioner, I tend to regard the use of THC, LSD, and psilocybin as viable treatments for any unwanted past trauma. That includes things that cause depression, you guys. In addition, as a viable approach to enlightenment, in the event that all of the numerous paths to enlightenment are considered sincerely. As a mitigated treatment, the ingestion of the substances in question must include moderation. Grasping the individual physiology of every person who uses any of these substances may be subject to a variety of effects. A mitigated approach aligns itself with mental health. Basically, that means everybody's an individual. We're all unique, even though we're all individualized expressions of the same universal consciousness. And metaphysically, that's taken into account regarding, the ingestion of LSD, THC, and psilocybin. So self-care, moderation. That's a couple of points we're going to use to substantiate our claim. Let's get into the third one here. In the same way one might keep a dream journal in an attempt to divulge the subconscious mind after a good night of rest, one might also see the virtue of keeping a journal as the findings presented here indicate. Documenting and recording therapeutic altered states of consciousness for the purpose of trauma sublimation is integral to tracking mental progress. So basically, the significance of journaling is that you can document, your mental progress, your mental health, how you're progressing and developing. Metaphysically, the term sublimation can be regarded as the act of dissolving away old patterns or past trauma through the naturally healing agency present within each being, the universal medium, if you will. Sublimation occurs naturally in sleep and can be directed to certain subconscious aspects of the mind during hypnosis or light meditation. If the altered states of consciousness induced by these psychoactive substances are in fact congruent to the experiences of multidimensional reality, then the etheric, astral, archetypal, and spiritual realms must be considered in relation to the conscious, subconscious, collective consciousness, and eternal cosmic consciousness within. The absolute nature of eternal cosmic consciousness does in fact surpass the space-time factors inherent in the conscious, subconscious, and collective consciousness. As such, the etheric, astral, and archetypal realms may be regarded as personal in nature. The spiritual realm is then considered to be universal. those are a few interesting facts that we're gonna be covering a few points, in addition to a few others, which I'll cover in the next episode. Let's go over one more. Considering global cultural implications of shamanism over centuries, the benefits of exploring altered states of consciousness do bear consideration, particularly in the realm of traditional medicine, when noting that the unifying element of shamanism is the attainment of enlightenment. Meditation must be considered. So there's a lot we're gonna cover, and those are just a few points. I'll get over the rest of the points in the next episode, in episode 2 of this format of recording. But yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We covered a lot. So self-care, shamanism, journaling, and sublimation, all very important points that we're going to be using to substantiate our claim. In addition to significant metaphysical points about mysticism and meditation. We're all multidimensional light beings, after all, and it's all made of light. A philosophalist is a lover of the beauty, someone who finds and appreciates beauty in all things. In all things. How beautiful is that? That's awesome. Alright, you guys, you know what? We were gonna go for an hour in this episode. We got 30 minutes remaining, just about. And do you know what? I've read so much of the introduction in this episode that I'm reluctant to continue, but it is interesting stuff, and we do have a lot of time left, so let's do a bit more. Factoring in the numerous paths to enlightenment, the objective of meditation is contact, experience, and synthesis of the conscious mind with cosmic consciousness within. The personal aspects of shamanism result in a mystical experience of an absolute nature. In some cases, as a result of psychoactive substances. The journey varies, but the awareness of one's true self remains the same. The primary concern of mysticism is the presence of cosmic consciousness within, which places further emphasis on the eternal aspect of one's true self. In addition, it clarifies the main practice involved in mysticism: meditation. Isn't that just marvelous, you guys? Just a bit of the introduction from my brand new book, Project Alpha, and I enjoy reading this with you. And I look forward to sharing all of my research with you guys. Shamanism does play an important role in this discussion, in addition to quite a few other topics. Let's go over a few more. The ability of thoughts to be expressive, and thus attract like thoughts, outlines the importance of a positive mental attitude. In grasping that positive thoughts correspond with positive circumstances in life, the notion of prosperity is comprehended in an holistic sense. Once the creative ability of thought and emotion is understood, one can begin to materialize desires. From an eternal perspective and as a result of intuitive ESP, intuitive extrasensory perception. One experiences reality as prosperity and prosperous in every aspect of consciousness. The metaphysical implications of sacred geometry in relation to the molecular structure of LSD, psilocybin, and THC are considered. Once these correlations are understood, certain states of beings or realms of consciousness can be linked to each substance. The hormone receptors of LSD, psilocybin, and THC are factored into the endocrine system in further relevant correspondences, specifically regarding chakras and sacred geometry. We'll get into that later, you guys, but it's really, really fascinating. The properties of harmonic frequencies that occurred in The properties of harmonic frequencies that occur in altered states of consciousness are outlined and considered in relation to the effects produced by each substance. So we'll go over like alpha waves, beta waves, theta waves, and delta frequencies. Mostly focusing on theta and delta in this particular work. Case studies and field tests are included to emphasize individualized treatment. In addition, these instances include occurrences of profound inner transformation and trauma sublimation. The ability of integrative medicine to consider clients as individuals and comprehend the psychophysical nature of people makes it an ideal candidate for providing controlled psychoactive treatment. We're covering a lot here. We're getting into a lot here. Again, I did specify and emphasize that metaphysics is a unified field, which means we are combining quantum physics, magic, science, mathematics, theology, philosophy, and it's all coming together into this beautiful thing that we call metaphysical science, which is beautiful. Alright. In saying that, from a metaphysical vantage, the understanding that all minds are individualized manifestations of universal mind or universal consciousness experiencing itself makes genomics an ideal approach to individualized treatment to ensure effective trauma sublimation. The existence of multidimensionality considered and the expressive attribute of positive thoughts understood. A positive mental atmosphere presents itself as fundamental. The notion of setting must be grasped in harmony with self-care to produce effective results. That's a very important thing when it comes to LSD, psilocybin, and THC ingestion, and a big part of why I like music and incense and art. It's setting a positive mental atmosphere is highly conducive to self-care, and vice versa. Self-care produces a positive mental atmosphere, and that is in tremendous part as a result of setting. And in saying that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listening out there, because the company you keep is a big part of creating a positive mental atmosphere. And if you're going to be sublimating trauma or inducing a psychoactive experience within yourself for healing purposes, then the people you keep around yourself is super, super important. And I just want to say that I really appreciate being with you guys here today. It's all good. Alright. So, I just want to recommend a few books. That work I just read from, my own work. Is substantiated by some resources I used to get into that. Obviously, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, The Raw Contact, the Law of One, the Kyballon. I didn't use the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, but it's a big inspiration, and I have used it in other books, which I will be sharing with you guys. I used a lot of articles. Check out the rostral anterior sigillate thickness projects the emotional psilocybin experience article. Beautiful stuff. I believe it's a group of Swedish scientists, and they did a lot of great stuff. Yeah. Awesome things we're doing here, guys, and always check it out. The Art of Mysticism by Gabriel Saron, Golden Dawn, and Nokian Magic. Now I'm just reading books, guys. So yeah, check out those books. Those last two, they're just like some interesting stuff that I think you might like. Some stuff I want to check out: Map the Magic, Clairvoyance, and Occult Powers. The Manual of Occultism, the Book of Thoth, Peyote. The Practical Handbook of Plant Alchemy, Goetia, the Vesicki of Solomon. Just a bunch of cool books, you guys. This is The Initiates of the Flame. Yeah. The History of Magic by Eliphas Levi. I wouldn't recommend that. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys listening to everything I have to say. I love sharing vital resources with you. That's something I'm going to be doing quite a lot over the course of this podcast / picture image thing. And I hope you enjoy everything that I have to share. Let's see where we're at today. We're coming up just over 9:30, and we are 42 minutes into our podcast. And I think it might be time for us to wrap up. But let's just recap everything we discussed in this episode. Why not? So yeah. I'm gonna toke up real quick, you guys. Give me a sec. And I'm back. Just had to pack a bowl real quick. That's right, we're smoking bowls today from a pipe. I thought it would be a lot more fun to have the sound of the lighter in the recording. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're still live. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Woo! Alright, you guys, so we covered a lot. I introduced myself a bit. Most of you listening to this already know who I am. If any of you are my students, thank you for buying my courses. I love making metaphysical content to share with you guys. I love that you buy my courses and that you do the lectures, that you listen in and download the material. I'm seeing a lot of engagement from people who have actually, decided to take what I'm saying seriously and apply it in their lives. And I really hope that you have noticed a significant positive change in your life as a result of applying these metaphysical concepts and practices in your life. And remember, meditation can be anything. There's no right way to meditate. There's only your way, and all you have to do is find what that is. A big part of my job is literally just assisting you, guiding you, pointing you in the direction of your path, and encouraging you to walk it. Whether or not you decide to do that is up to you. You know, I'm gonna do a little skit now. Let's do it. Why, thank you for having me over. I really appreciate it. Let's mosey on over to the kitchen. Let's wash these dishes. You know, I see you washing my dishes over there, and I realized that I put my cutlery in the same cupboard. You know, I don't know what you mean by that. Some people like to put their cutlery in a different container and only take it out on special occasions. I like to put it all in the same cupboard. I still don't know what you mean. I guess what I'm saying is, it's up to you if you want to use the silverware. I get it. You make perfect sense. It's up to me if I want to put the silver spoon in my own mouth. Thank you everybody for listening. This has been episode 1 of the podcast edition of Universal You. Always a pleasure. Like, subscribe, comment, and get to me, guys, with some art and name suggestions. And I definitely include you in the book. Alright, have a good one. Bye-bye for now.